Hello guys, this is all the material that you're going to need to make this bunny treat bag. You'll need 4 pieces of 2.5 by 4.5 for your ears. I've chosen to use 2 different fabrics, one for the front, one for the back. You'll also need an ear template. Either find one online or make one yourself. You will also need 2 pieces of 17-inch ribbon. This ribbon is 3/8 inch wide. You will also need 4 pieces of fabric that are 6 by 8, 2 for your lining and 2 for the front. You can also use Paylon for your bunny ears to make them a little stronger, or you can use it on your bag as well to make it a little stronger. For the first part of this, now that I have my Paylon on both sides of my fabric, you're going to want to take it and make sure that the good side of your fabric are facing each other, like so. And then you're going to want to place your rabbit ear template in the middle of that, so it fits on the fabric. Then you're going to want to take a pin and just pin through both sides. And so it looks like that. And then you're going to take a pin. I use a Pilot friction pin because when you iron it, the pin marks will disappear. But you want to then trace your bunny ear best you can all the way around. Like so. And then you want to carefully unpin it. Take your template off the fabric, and there you have your trace of your bunny ear. Then you want to pin it together like so, and then you'll want to do the same for the second piece. Put them together, right sides together, and then put your template on that piece and trace it. Then after you got that one traced, you'll want to take it over to the sewing machine and sew all the way around the bunny ears, except the bottom. You do not want to sew the bottom piece shut because that's how we're going to turn it. But you want to sew up and around all the way. So I will be right back after I do that. Alright, so now that you've got your bunny ears sewn all the way around, I don't know if it'll focus or show you. Maybe, maybe not. But you sew all the way around, back stitching at the beginning and the end. That's a very important step because it'll be hard to turn these inside out if you don't back stitch at the beginning and the end. But now we can take our pins out of our rabbit ears. Let me see if I can show you this sewing. There you go. See, so alongside the marks, sewing and back stitching at the end and the beginning, but don't sew the bottom because that's how you'll turn it inside out. So now I'll take my pinking shears, because pinking shears also helps with turning fabric inside out. What you want to do is trim as close to the line, but don't cut into your stitching like so. Just be mindful of where your stitches are and trim. And this is what your ear should look like now. Let's take and cut off the extra string. And then what I try to do is pinch it open like so and try to form a little hole, a little dent, and then like get a pen or a bone folder and see if you can push it onto itself, which makes it a lot easier to turn it inside out. Like so. Takes a little bit of patience and finagling, but you soon have a rabbit ear. Now take your bone folder or your pen and push out all the sides that you can. Make sure you got all turned out. And then what you'll do is press it with an iron. And there's your first rabbit ear. I will do the second one and come right back. Now what you want to do is take the front sides of your bag, and if there's a design on them or whatever, you want to put the right sides together so the outside is face up on both sides. You'll want to take a ruler and measure from the corner here at 2 inches. You want to take the 2-inch mark and go down 2 inches. And then take a pen and draw a line, or a chalk pen, or whatever you use to mark your fabric, like so. And then you'll want to do the same on the other side. You'll put it at the 2 mark and then draw a line. Like so. And then what you'll do is you'll do the same thing for your lining piece. You'll put your lining piece together. You want right sides of your fabric facing in. And then use your ruler and do 2 inches on, measure 2 inches down on both sides, like so. There's the 2-inch mark. And you'll draw a line here and a line over here. It's not too, there you go. And then what we'll do is I'll take it over to the sewing machine and I will sew a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance all the way around the front part of the bag, back stitching at the beginning and the end. That's a very important part. When you're stitching, you want a 1/4 inch all the way around the bottom, and you want to stop at these marks. So you'll start at one end, back stitch, go all the way around and back stitch and stop. You want to do the same thing for your lining. You'll want to stitch and back stitch, go all the way down, but when you get down towards the bottom, you want to leave like a 2.5 to 2.5 inch opening here. So I'll just mark like so. So like that. It's not perfect, but you'll want to sew and back stitch all the way down to this mark and back stitch here and take it off and start your stitch here, stitch, back stitch, so all the way up to here, back stitch and stop. And then we want to leave this for an opening so we'll be able to turn our bag inside out when we're ready to do that. So I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine and I will be right back. Now that I've got all my bag sewn with 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around, except for the top. I've left that 2-inch mark or opening still. With the inside lining bag, I've sewed a 1/4 inch all the way around, except for the bottom here I've left open, as you can kind of tell, 2 inches. So that way when I put the two pieces together, we can turn it right side out. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to take your flaps out of your bags and put mine's not gonna cooperate. Hold on. You're gonna wanna put them together like so. If I can get mine to match up. Put them together like so on the top and the sides. You might have to pin it like I'm going to do here, just for a quick second. And then match up the top. And the other side. Like so. Putting a pin in the top to hold it. And then the other side to hold it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine. Now that I have it pinned together, I'm gonna start at one end, start stitching, back stitch a little bit, and go all the way around to the other mark where I will stop, and I will do back stitching there, and then I will then come over here to the table and do the other side, matching the other side up like so, and using, oops, it's not lined up, like so. And at the marks right here, I will start sewing, back stitch, and sew all the way around to here, the other mark, and back stitch. So then your bag has two flaps, like so, on either side. I will be back to show you what it looks like. Now that you've got your two flaps sewn together all the way around like so, see, they're sewn together, so it's kind of like a bag that has flaps. You're going to take the corners of all four corners of your bag, and you're going to open it up like so, and try to match up this back seam with this seam, the top seam, so it kind of makes a triangle. Making sure your seams are going the same way is very important. Make sure your seams are going the same way. You're gonna lay your triangle down and measure 1 inch down from the point of your triangle, like so. And then grab your pen and make a mark. And then put a pen in it or whatever you want to put in it to hold it in place. You want to do this to all four corners of your bag. See? I got one here, one here, one here, and one here. Now that I got all 4 corners completed, I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine and sew on the line, back stitching at both beginning and end on all 4 corners. Okay guys, I'm back and I've sewn all 4 of my corners, getting the extra strings out of there. Now you should have 4 little dog ears like so on each side of your bag, or 2. 4 on each side, but 2 on each side. So your bag's kind of looking like this, kind of wonky. Like, what are you doing? I'll show you. So then we want to take either pinking shears or regular scissors and just cut a 1/4 inch seam allowance, like so. Now you can use your pinking shears, you can take it over to the serger and sew up your ends so they don't fray or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. So, cut there, come over and cut here, and cutting right here. Now that you got your 4 dog ears cut off, you're going to take the opening that you left in the lining part, and you're just going to turn your bag right side out. It might take some maneuvering, but you can do it. Takes a minute. Come on. There it goes. Alright. Now you got your bag ends are right side out. You're going to want to take your pen or your bone folder and go inside and poke out all the corners like so. That's Oops. Like, see, you got one flap. Oops. Sorry. You got one flap here and one flap here. Now what we're going to do is still make sure that all the bag is pushed out. And then we're going to take it over to the sewing machine again. And we're going to close this little gap here. And if you can follow what I'm doing, it should turn in on itself. And all you do is take it over to the sewing machine and sew as close to the end of the fabric as you can, and no one will be the wiser that that's where the hole was, that you turned it in right side out. So I'll be right back to show you that. Okay guys, I've sewn up the end of this, as you can see. Let me see. There you go. So now the bag is all turned out and sewn up, and you have your flap still, and you want to take this and push it inside your bag like so. Get out all your corners, and voila. There's the front of the bag, there's the back, and the box corners. And of course you've got your two flaps still. Well, so from here you'll just want to take it over to your ironing board and give it a good pressing out a little bit, like so. There you have it. So it's nice and firm. It's the flaps. And what you'll want to do next is put this aside for just a second. Bring back your bunny ears. And what I did is I took my bunny ears and just ever so slightly turned them a little bit upward so that they're closed. I just turned it like that, and I'll take it over to the sewing machine and sew alongside that edge, and they'll be shut. Because we're going to be putting these on here, so you won't see that piece that's turned over. So, but there's also another way you can do it, and that is take your ends and tuck them in as best you can, you know, all the way around. Tuck it in and then sew it shut. As you can see, I'm not very good at tucking those little itty bitty parts in, so what I do, like I said, I just fold it over to the back of the bunny ear, just ever so slightly. It's not, no, just a little bit. And then I'll take it over to the sewing machine and give it a sew. Because when you go and put it on your bag, you're not going to be able to see the piece that's turned anyway. So I will go do that. Okay, everyone, I turned over the front part of my bag of one flap, and I sewn very close to the edge right there so I can make a little pocket. Let's see if I can show you. Made a little pocket so we can put our ribbon in there when we're done. And I also turned over the edges of the ears just so you guys know what I did. Now what we're going to do is do the same thing to the back. But first I'm going to take this pin and I'm going to pin the first flap out of the way. Then I'm going to take this back flap and fold it right up to the edge of the other one, like so. Can you see that? Like this. Then I'm going to grab another pin real quick to hold that in place. And I'm going to lay it down and see how many squares. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. So I'm going to put my ears on at the same time I do the back flap. And I usually put them about an inch or inch and a half apart. There we go. I think that'll do it. Make sure it looks even to you. But you're going to put them all the way down towards the end here. You're going to line it up with the end there. See how much space you have on either side. And then you're going to pin those in place so they don't move really quick. And then we're gonna take this over to the sewing machine. Oh, I poked myself. And take it over to the sewing machine and sew right along the edge. So we're going to secure that back strap down, and we're going to secure our 2 bunny ears down as well at the same time. Making sure that it's close to the edge when sewing. Alright? Okay, now that we've sewn our bunny ears and the back flap on, we are almost done. As you can see, it'll focus. I sewed right on the edge, securing all 3 pieces down. Now what we'll do is you want to take a safety pin or a pokey tool whatever you have and put your ribbon there, like so. And then start at one end and put your pin in and push it through like so, scooting, pushing all the way through so. Then you want to wrap it around straight and put it in the other side and do the same thing, pushing and pulling pin through the hole like so. And then you'll take your safety pin out, and there you have one of your ribbons in. Want to make it as even as you can, so you line it up like so, and just tie it in a knot. I can get it to work for me. There you go. So and then what you'll do is you'll take your other piece and put it on the ribbon, and you'll start from the other side, so that way the knot will be on this side over here, pushing and pulling the other ribbon all the way through to the other side. Oh, I started on the wrong side. Turn it, pull it out. You want to start from the other side of your bag. Sorry. Without paying attention. Direction. Who's going? Go. Move around. Making sure it all comes out. Evenly. And up. Make a knot. Try to make a knot. And there you have it. Tie both knots on it, and there's your Easter Bunny treat bag. Very simple, maybe an hour, hour and a half to complete. You can decorate the front, maybe put their name on it with some iron-on vinyl, like I'm going to do later. Yeah, You just simply pull the two strings and there's your bunny bag. So I hope you liked this tutorial. Sorry if you couldn't hear me at times or whatever. This is my second video, but I hope you like it and subscribe. Have a good day.